I'm taking advantage of this quiet spot that I found and hopping right into my next video. Here is my review of Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. I was really hoping to visit central Vietnam, but unfortunately in the time that I was hoping to go, it was just going to be raining for that whole week, so unfortunately I had to skip it and take a plane from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. It was about a 10 to 15 degree temperature increase from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, so it was a little bit of a shock to the body when I landed. One of the first things that I noticed about the city is that it was a lot bigger than Hanoi. In Hanoi, it felt very cramped and small, but in Ho Chi Minh City, it felt more of like a big city, like back home. Even though I often get overstimulated and overwhelmed in big cities, it was kind of nice to have something that felt familiar. But in this clip here, I'm walking down Boi Vien Street, which is basically the Khao San Road of Ho Chi Minh City, and I was not expecting it to be so crazy. Oh my gosh. But I didn't come here for party streets, I came here to learn. So I went to the War Remnants Museum and the Cu Chi Tunnels. These two attractions tell the history of the Vietnam War, or as they call it in Vietnam, the American War, and its brutal after effects. The Cu Chi Tunnels were absolutely fascinating to learn about how the Vietnamese soldiers used their creative innovation and their familiarity with the jungle to stay alive during the war. They lived in these tunnels underground where they had a medical unit, a place where they could rest, and even a kitchen and a unique ventilation system so that the smoke wouldn't signal to the US soldiers where the Vietnamese soldiers were hiding. The War Remnants Museum left absolutely nothing to the imagination as it went into full detail telling people's personal stories of how the bombs and chemicals affected themselves and their family members. Side note, please ignore the poor timing of me telling you about the War Remnants Museum while I show you cute videos of cats that I met at the cat cafe. But as I was saying, the museum displays gory images and heartbreaking stories of how people did their best to survive the American War. I needed a couple hours of self-care time after going to the museum to reflect on what I had seen and read because it was really disturbing, but I'm really glad that I went because I feel I really didn't learn enough about the American War when I was in school. I also went to the Independence Palace while I was in Ho Chi Minh City, but I really didn't feel it was worth it. And last but not least for my activities, I was really missing dance, so I found a dance studio and took a jazz funk class, and it felt so good to express myself through movement again. All in all, I really enjoyed my time in Ho Chi Minh City because it reminded me of being back home. That's it for now. Stay tuned for the next video.